Christopher Luxon met his Australian counterpart Anthony Albanese today and expressed interest in attaching New Zealand to the AUKUS security alliance with Australia, the UK and the US. It would only be in a second-tier capacity because of our nuclear-free policy. Albanese was happier to talk about that than our ongoing issues over 501s. Political editor Jenna Lynch has more.
Good to see you again.
G'day, kia ora, hello.
You first? You've been busy, mate. Yeah.
Christopher Luxon ticking handshake with world leader off the new PM bingo card, choosing a friendly face for his first foray into foreign affairs.
Sorry about the weather. No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Arriving to a special welcome to country smoking ceremony.
Australia and New Zealand are more than friends. We are in fact family.
Allies, friends, the best of. New Zealand's relationship with Oz is rated as the closest in the world, but it was on the rocks in recent years as Australia deported criminals en masse to New Zealand, some with little to no connection to Aotearoa. In February this year, Australia softened its stance, the Albanese government issuing a directive to take time in country into account when making deportation decisions.
We said that we'd apply some common sense.
It's resulted in fewer deportations, but there were still 175 deported from the beginning of March to the end of November. And the latest violent criminal sent back, 57-year-old Michael Scott Fear, was born in New Zealand to Australian parents. He shifted to Australia at the age of 2. Isn't that violence grown in Australia?
Well, I don't comment on individual cases. What I would say is that Australia's position has been to apply a common sense approach.
When you raised that particular case with him, did you tell him that was wrong?
Again, we had a conversation about the fact that I expressed disappointment that was actually a case that was one that on the surface of it, without me knowing the ins and outs of all the details, looked like it was actually someone who didn't have strong ties to New Zealand.
The latest figures provided by New Zealand Police to Newshub show a total of 3,096 501s have been deported since January 2015. 1,847 of them were under the age of 10 when they left New Zealand. That's 60% of them. Christopher Luxon sees the issue as resolved, so is looking to further the relationship through military ties.
We want to deliver new energy, new enthusiasm and new direction to ensure that our bond is fit for contemporary challenges that we see.
Those challenges in an increasingly unstable world.
New Zealand is committed to doing our share of the heavy lifting in the alliance.
I think that New Zealand has always punched above its weight.
New Zealand found itself on the outer recently as Australia teamed up with the UK and US in a security alliance known as AUKUS, based around nuclear-propelled submarines.
We will always have our nuclear-free position. That's non-negotiable for us in New Zealand.
But there's a second tier of the deal coming, known as Pillar 2, which is more focused on technology and intelligence, and Christopher Luxon wants in.
We are interested in exploring Pillar 2, particularly in AUKUS, and the new technologies and the opportunities that may mean for New Zealand.
We see AUKUS as being very important for promoting stability and security in the Pacific. I think the more that we cooperate, the better the benefit for both of our countries.
Our close countries looking to become even closer.
Well, Jenna joins us now from Sydney, where the Prime Minister is about to board a plane home. And Jenna, how serious is Luxon about building a better relationship with Australia?
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride out of here, but the Prime Minister's statements around AUKUS are definitely the furthest a New Zealand Prime Minister has gone. That, coupled with his talk around New Zealand pulling its weight in a security sense, show that he's keen for New Zealand to get further on side with our traditional allies when it comes to Australia, along with making it his first trip as a Prime Minister, as has become a tradition for new Prime Ministers on either side of the ditch. He says he's also wanting his ministers to start racking up the air miles and meeting with their trans-Tasman counterparts more regularly. His economic ministers, his finance minister, his defence minister, his foreign affairs ministers. He wants them meeting with their Australian counterparts for a few reasons: to work more collaboratively, for us to show that we are an interested and present partner, and for New Zealand and Australia to present a bit of a new united front to the world. Now, this has been a whirlwind trip for Luxon, and he is in foreign affairs following quite a global phenomenon in Jacinda Ardern. Today he showed us what style he's going to bring. While Jacinda Ardern was a global superstar and ambassador for New Zealand, Luxon clearly has a strong suit, and that is relationship building.
Thank you, Jenna. That's our political editor, Jenna Lynch, live in Sydney.